how the nationalist move by Donald Trump, which happily coincided with our own nationalist assertion. This is a very important point to remember, that even a newspaper like The Guardian, which is no friend of India, no friend of the Hindus, even they said after Narendra Bhai Modi won the election in 2014, that it is today that British rule has really ended in India. It's a remarkable statement, absolutely true, and that's why it puzzled me that a rag like The Guardian would even say such a thing. I didn't believe it. I went to the archives and found indeed it is true. They actually did say that. So, and you see what the kind of pressure that our leader has been under all over the world. There's religious freedom and intolerance and all sorts of other things, caste violence, which Professor Sen has already elaborated in greater detail. All this is a function of the desire to crush the nationalist forces and establish the unchallengeable supremacy of the globalist elite. Right. Now, this is something on which I would like to spend a little time. This is how the globalist elites actually function. What are they doing? I've already mentioned one strand, which is to go supranational. So you have all those organizations that I just described. The second part is to destroy the nation state. And you begin by destroying the nation state in this manner. Free and easy divorce to destroy the family. Homosexuality to destroy reproduction. We'll come in a minute to how important demography and population is. Human rights, this is to overcome state sovereignty. Environmental control, with this they are gaining control over our economic power and our economic sovereignty. An education system, I hope you guys are all above this, but be on your guard against this. An education system that cripples the mental faculties of the children, distances themselves from their parents, and denigrates their own culture. Unfortunately, this is true of India too, not as badly as in America, but it is happening in India too. A medical system that enforces gender fluidity. And the aim is to create what the Chinese leader called sissy boys. And they are wise to this trick. And so he has spoken out openly against this emergence of this creature called the sissy boys. And that's partly what we are seeing in many parts of the world. Hatred for religions. All Indic religions are under unprecedented attack, especially the Sanatan Dharma, and of course Judaism and Christianity. And I think there is scope here for us to at least coordinate positions. The role of the NGOs, and this is to transmit private sector power through funding on government and frequently in opposition to government policies. And multiculturalism is aimed at destroying a nation's civilizational roots. This is where the destruction of the nation states happens. You combine all this and you see it's happening in pretty much most of the democracies around the world, and India is no exception. There, India is also in the crosshairs. You see, like I'm saying here, every Holi, you hear these kids going around saying, this year say no to colors. Every Diwali, say, this year say no to crackers. And of course, you know, you speak your own language, somehow people look down on you. You go to any five-star hotel and you speak Hindi, even they look down on you. I encountered this in Russia also, by the way. I'd go there and speak in Russian, and they would treat me like, you know, any riffraff. I speak in English, they don't understand a word, but they say, okay, this guy is something serious. We need statecraft. You know, just before we gathered here, someone asked me about this. Why do we lack statecraft? And I said, really, it's our history. 1,000 years of subjugation will leave its impact. But for heaven's sake, I think we need an education system which can now start to overcome this. An effort is being made, but I don't think enough is being done. And like Professor Sen pointed out, surely we need to change our education curriculum It's 10 years of this government, and it hasn't yet happened, but one lives in hope. We have seen the principal contradiction, and the globalists, unfortunately, which is the deep state, this is the kind of control that they have. Public space, media, including social media, big business, universities, films, and of course the international organs. And they have come up with this new term called illiberal democracy. When they don't like the nationalist policies of any leader, and it's not just India. You can see they're doing this to President Milei in Argentina, Prime Minister Orban of Hungary. All of them are being described as illiberal democracies. And I think what we have to do is simply push back and say, yes, if you want the other things that I mentioned, the destruction of your own civilizational ethos, then we will be happier to be illiberal than to go your way.